So today we are outside. Why? I don't know. I just needed something new in my life, and so I went outside, felt the sunlight, and I was like, you know, I do all these movie reviews inside. I'm gonna go outside for one, for a change, you know. So now I'm out here talking to you, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. Wonder Woman! I don't know if you can hear that saw in the background. It's annoying the hell out of me. I hate people. But right, Wonder Woman, back on track. Let's talk about that movie. So my feelings on most DC movies so far is I love the Dark Knight trilogy, and you know, I loved all three of those movies, particularly the first two. But whenever they started this new DCEU, this big expanded universe with Superman and everything, I thought Man of Steel was trash. I thought Batman vs. Superman had some awesome scenes, but overall the movie was a sloppy mess, and I thought Suicide Squad was suicide. So far, I have not been a huge fan of the DCEU. However, I had been wanting to be a fan for so long because I love the DC properties. They're always more serious, more dark. They get to more, I guess you could say, deeper themes. They explore darker themes, and I like that stuff. But since all the other DCEU movies that have come out, I thought were pretty terrible, I had no hope for Wonder Woman. Like, I had no hope at all. But to my great surprise, ladies and gentlemen, Wonder Woman was, well, wonderful. So let's talk about the things I liked about Wonder Woman. I'm gonna carry you around for a second. It's gonna be, you know, psychedelic. None of what I do makes sense. But no, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, I was a big fan of. She was actually quite good. Whenever she needed to emote and show some real emotion, she did that quite well. Now, there were some lines and some delivery of some lines that did not work out as well as they could have. Just being honest. However, I thought that she was good in the role, and I'm glad that she's Wonder Woman. She was, you know, she was a good female protagonist, and I was a fan of her. She was a strong female protagonist, except for, like, they didn't make her, like in some other, properties, like sort of say The Walking Dead, where the character Andrea from like season 3, I remember like they wouldn't give her a gun because she didn't know how to use a gun, but instead she just went, "Is it because I'm a woman?" There was none of that kind of crap in this movie. Wonder Woman just was who she was, and that was great. Another thing I liked about Wonder Woman was the story. Set in World War I, it was a really good period piece in a lot of ways. It was really interesting. The war scenes were awesome. I mean, I just really liked the story. It was deep. There were some good themes that were explored. I mean, it was really good. I really liked the story, and I was impressed. It was like the first DC movie that didn't have either a boring story or a sloppy story. It was just a good, solid story, and I'm so glad. Also, the action scenes were pretty darn cool. Got a pond in my backyard. It's really nice. Some good natural music. I don't know why this is gonna, you know, maybe I should cut this up. No, I'm gonna leave it in. Also, I was a big fan of the villain. He was very complex, very interesting, scary. And it wasn't like another DC villain like Doomsday that just didn't need to be there. This villain was actually there for a point and for a reason, and some good reasons. And the last thing that I will say I loved about Wonder Woman was Chris Pine. Chris Pine is so good in this movie. He kind of plays the love interest. He is so charismatic, so funny, and he's just a great character that you really care about. There's some great dialogue between him and Wonder Woman that's really compelling, very deep. I loved him. I mean, I've pretty much loved Chris Pine in everything I've seen him in, but golly, there are mosquitoes out here. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, yeah, one more thing to touch on before we move on to some of the things that I wasn't a huge fan of in Wonder Woman. One of the best things is honestly, like, I feel like a lot of Marvel movies, like usually Marvel movies, they put out really good movies consistently, really good to great movies. However, lots of times I feel that their tone is always pretty much the same, and like lots of times the stakes aren't very high, and they never get like really deep or dark, even though sometimes they falsely advertise things like that, like Age of Ultron or Doctor Strange. They turned out to be kind of comedy kind of things. I thought Wonder Woman was a perfect mix of being a serious movie but with some great humor in it. Chris Pine was a big part of that humor, and but it was a great balance, and I really liked it. And now for the negatives! Because there are some. I thought there was too much slow-mo in this movie. In a lot of the action scenes, the action is freaking amazing and awesome. However, like, it's going great, and then it'll just go slow-mo like 3 times within 15 seconds, and it gets really annoying. Like at first it's really cool, and there were definitely some great slow-mo moments in this movie that I was like, that worked. However, like, I mean, they did overuse it, I thought. It took me out of the movie sometimes, took me out of the action sequence, made it not as cool as I think it could have been if they just let it go, 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 go. Hey, I'm in a tree! I've got issues. Another slight problem I had with the movie was actually the guy who plays Remus Lupin in Harry Potter. He had a great character in this movie. However, for the role that he plays, it kind of took me out of the movie, only in that they made him look exactly like Remus Lupin from Harry Potter. And so the entire time he was playing this really complex and interesting character, I was like, what are you doing, Professor? I couldn't fully take him seriously with that same mustache, same haircut. I mean, he was good, no doubt. He was really good. It's just, they should have given him like a full beard and made it look a little bit different than my beloved Professor. And the only other flaw I had with this movie was there were a few scenes that I thought were kind of cheesy. Like, especially towards the end, there's this scene where Wonder Woman's walking towards the villain and she's saying this stuff, and good messages, no doubt. The way the line delivery and the way it's shot made it, I mean, it was kind of cheesy. And there were a few moments like that in this movie, and it kind of took me out of the experience, but not too much. Wonder Woman gets an A-. So tell me, have you seen Wonder Woman? And if so, tell me what you thought of it. And as always, if you liked this video, please like it and subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and please have a wonderful day.